Welcome to the Chris and Sam podcast. Pull up a bar stool and join us for a random conversation, guaranteed to make you think or your money back.
Hello and welcome to the Chris and Sam podcast. This is episode number 36, and sitting across from me is Chris, the Mexican taco man, Hanlon.
It was Texan fish taco, actually, and it's
Close.
just repeating on me now.
I know,
actually.
I've got the same feeling. We've eaten way too much food today.
And it was ages ago, too. Like, it wasn't like we've just finished eating. It was like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I know.
At
but
least
there was so much
3
food.
hours. Yeah, there was a lot of food.
If you remember back to March the 15th, to episode 24, and of course all of you do, because we know you're diehard fans and you've committed what we've spoken about to memory, you would have remembered that we talked about smoked meat goodness, and that I won a $100 voucher for going to
The sweatshop.
The sweatshop up in Auckland. So we ended up in Auckland today, and
He pulled out this moth-eaten voucher,
Yep.
which, well, was it a bit soggy?
No, it was dry now, but it had got wet because my wallet got wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Sam whips out his soggy voucher and, he shouted dinner. So I actually paid more shouting coffee and caramel oaty caramel slice earlier in the day than you.
How much did you pay for that?
$18.
Yeah, it was half of that. $9.20.
Yeah.
And I paid $7.40.
For what was really $107.40
Yeah,
meal.
so
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not complaining. That was a great meal. I should have gone with my heart and got the
some sort of vegetarian thing.
No, I should have got the hot apple pie
Oh,
at the
for the
end
dessert,
instead
the
of
dessert.
the pumpkin flavored cheesecake. But Sam didn't want the pumpkin flavored cheesecake, and I thought it would be like rude not to get it to say that he had tried it. So he had a.
They did
bit of
talk
mine.
it up quite a bit. The guy was like frothing at the mouth that you'd ordered it.
Yeah, it was pretty average, to be honest.
So why were we in Auckland today, Chris?
So, we were in Auckland to meet some podcasting people. We met probably our biggest fan. Hey, Will!
Hey, Will, from podfellas.com.
Yeah.
And in meeting Will, I think we met probably 1/10 of the podcasters in New Zealand.
1/10 of the podcasters in New Zealand.
And actually, with the amount of podcasts that Will produces and makes, he is a leading,
he's up there.
He's a leading player. He's in the top 3
Oh,
podcast
yeah.
producers.
Top 5.
Top 5. Oh, come on, Chris.
Well, no, because I think there's a few others.
No, there isn't.
Okay, all right, maybe not.
If we haven't heard of them, there isn't.
Yeah, all right. But, it was good. And Will actually, like, he knows a lot of our stuff. He knows more of our podcast than we do.
Yeah, it's pretty funny when you meet someone that's been listening to you for so long and remembers things like...
What we said in different episodes and stuff. So that was cool.
So we have recorded a special podcast with Will in our mobile studio.
In the car, in the Beamer,
In the car park.
in the car park.
Sylvia Park in Auckland.
Yeah.
And that'll come out in the future.
Yeah, we're not sure when. It'll be interesting. You'll have to, it may be an advisory on that one,
There will-
contains coarse language.
Yeah, we'll let you know when that happens so you don't upset anyone.
Yeah, true. So that was quite cool. It was good meeting Will. So we met Will, and we also went and met Mr. Paul Spain.
Yes, Mr. New Zealand Tech podcast.
Yes, and that was cool. Sort of finding out a little bit about the podcast, the New Zealand Podcast Network that he runs. So they've got a few different podcasts there. They've got the New Zealand Entertainers podcast. What was the
Politically Incorrect
That's the one I was
podcast.
thinking of. And
A business one, which I think is the New Zealand Business Podcast.
Yeah, and the business tech or the New Zealand tech rather that he started out with.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool meeting Paul and had a good talk with him.
And had a quick look in his studios and stuff. It looks warmer and tidier than ours.
Yes.
And a few more screens and bits and pieces. But ours is not like that terrible, actually.
No, it'll just get better,
As we go.
over time.
Yeah. And I must come to the conclusion that we are not as amateur as I thought we were. So I had this idea, Sam, that we were pretty low on the totem pole and we didn't know what we're doing, and these guys knew way more than us. But they have a lot more experience. Paul's been doing it for 4 years.
If not longer,
or 4 to 6 years maybe. And Will's been doing it for over a year. And we've only been doing this for 6 months or so. It's not even that. 5 months? Something like that. Anyway.
Since October.
Yeah, so 6 months. And 8 months, whatever. And
Good maths, Chris, good maths.
yeah, whatever.
And we seem to be going okay.
Yeah, no, we're doing well. And I think we know sort of what we're doing. Yeah. Can things be better? Definitely. Can we improve? Definitely. Can we get some more listeners? I should hope so. And not laugh, except when I say something like, "Oh, Sam didn't like the quicksand button in the Beamer on the way back."
Yeah.
I said that to my flatmate when she got back, and she just looks at me and she goes, "Am I supposed to say anything with that?" I'm like, "You're supposed to ask what a quicksand button is so I can tell you about the story." And she goes, "But if I don't care, I just don't want to ask, and that'd be fine, eh?" And I'm like, okay.
So instead, Chris is here talking into a microphone, telling everyone out there the story instead.
It's not that funny now.
No, it's not.
Sam's like, there's a button in the Beamer on the seats, and it does the raise lower thing. Well, actually, it doesn't. It just does the lower. To raise, you have to actually get out of the car, as far as I can tell. I can't figure out another way of doing it. Get out of the car and raise the seat back up. So he's in the car. We're driving back from Auckland to Hamilton, which is a couple of hours. I ain't stopping for nothing. I'm driving. And he finds that button, presses it, and sinks in a hole.
Yeah, I thought I was going to move the seat back, to be honest.
Yeah, wrong one.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, that was the quicksand story. Tasha's probably right. Shouldn't have fucking brought it up.
Yeah, that's good. I'll have to edit that.
I know.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So last night you went and saw Jurassic World because you were frothing at the bit to go see that film.
Okay, so
Paint the picture. You love Jurassic Park.
I love Jurassic Park. I loved the first one. I was so stoked that Sam Neill was effectively a Kiwi in a big role in a big movie. I'm a big fan of Michael Crichton anyway, you know, his books and stuff. Yeah. So I thought that was good. All right, so I was a big fan of Sam Neill being in there and all the rest of it. So it was great. And the imagery was amazing when it first came out. So I loved Jurassic Park. The second two, yeah, they're all right. This one I was looking forward to a great deal. Chris Pratt in it. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I went and saw it 3D because, of course, 3D is much more immersive. And, you know, unless you've got an eye problem, it's probably the best way to see a film, I think. Although, to be fair, they don't utilise it as well as they could. But yeah.
In that film or 3D in general?
3D in general. Generally. And I don't think they
was
did.
Was it used well in that? Or was it sparingly?
Not noticeably. Not noticeably.
Okay.
It was cool, but it wasn't, like, spectacular.
Yeah, so it was just like a normal film in 3D as opposed to a film made for 3D.
Exactly. But I still prefer it in 3D, I would say.
Yep.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I gave it 4 stars. One of those stars may have come from nostalgia, you know, but that's unashamedly so because I went to see it because I liked the original Jurassic Park. Yeah.
If you didn't know anything about Jurassic Park and you only saw that new film, would that still stand up just by itself?
I think so, yeah. Oh, totally.
Like you don't need to know any backstory? They sort of alluded to it?
It did reference it, but I don't think you'd lose anything if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you've got to see it the movie. So I will say this. If I watch that on a screen, like I get a DVD or somebody has a file that I
somehow,
played,
I don't know how that works.
How that works, yeah. And I played it on a screen at home, I think I'd be a lot more picky about the movie.
Okay.
But the experience of that sound, you know, that dinosaur growl stuff and the big plonking footprints and all that sort of thing in a proper stereo cinema setting, that's an experience. That's awesome. And the big screen, it was really cool. I mean, the premise of the movie, you know, some of the stuff that happens is like, I don't think that would actually happen. It's frickin' Jurassic Park. Of course it wouldn't actually happen. The whole thing's ridiculous. But, you know, you get into it.
Yeah, that's where people, I think, if it's something that can't happen in real life now, it's fine. They can do whatever they want. But if it's a real life sort of film, then that's when you're like, oh, you can't bend the laws of physics too much.
Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't laws of physics, but, you know.
Yeah. It's dinosaurs, so it's all good.
Yeah, it was great. I would recommend it. I do want to go and see Mad Max again, though, and this time in 3D.
Yeah.
I do want to go see that before it disappears.
Wonder how... it should still be playing for a while, eh?
Maybe.
Maybe?
A little while. There's quite a few movies coming out, so maybe not. What has happened to my list?
It's disappeared. You don't need to see the other ones.
Right, you've put Hermes podcast back on there now.
Not on my screen. I don't know what
Okay.
you're looking at. You should only have 2 things on your little screen. Make that 1, because there's only 1 thing left to talk about. Actually, talking about things on screens, I happened to use Chris's phone today, which was an interesting experience. We were listening to podcasts on the car, and he was driving, or attempting to, and I had to check a few things.
Which phone are you talking about?
I don't know.
I have 2 phones, so that's why.
Oh, look at you go. I've got my one.
I have 2 smartphones. Sorry, what have you got there?
Some crappy Nokia. Just feel free to send me a phone, guys, whoever's got a free phone. I'm not fussy, just send me one. But the one that's got about 11,000 emails on it, Chris.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, so that was my iPhone, and it's got my...
Now, I just want to state, that's a personal email account?
It's a personal email account that happens to be linked in off my
that's cool.
work phone, yeah.
Okay, yep. And according to the conversation I had with you, I said, why don't you go through and sort them out? And you said, well, I've sorted them out into folders. That 11,000 is just in my inbox. And it was about 13,000 the other day, but I've deleted some.
Yeah, it was 14,000.
14,000.
I didn't delete any. Well, I probably did delete
You just
the spam
archive
ones.
them then?
I just archive.
Okay.
Drag them into different folders. I have like 20 folders on there.
How many important emails do you think are sitting in this 11,000 that you're missing?
Hopefully not many.
Not many.
Hopefully I've got all of them. But yeah, so
Do
it's
you know how many
11,098 is what it's sitting at now. But I did move a few because it made me feel guilty before, and I archived a few.
I've got like 5 in my inbox.
Right.
I'm right on top of what's happening in my
What
email.
was that? But that's in Gmail.
What's that got to do with anything?
But there is no archiving in Gmail.
Yeah, there is. There's an archive button. It's up the top.
Oh.
You delete or you archive.
Right, I've never really worked out how to use Gmail. Like, I have no clue.
Oh my god.
Doesn't make sense. Gmail doesn't make sense. That's why I stick
Gmail
with
makes heaps
Yahoo.
of sense.
Yahoo's just awesome.
Yahoo's set up for old people that don't know what they're doing.
Like I said, Yahoo is awesome. Yahoo, you can totally sponsor the show if you like to.
They won't know how because they'll have to send you a letter or something.
Hashtag we're your best friends. Hashtag
I'll tell you what, send Chris an email and in 20 years when he's somehow
gets around to it.
mined out the rest of his email, he might be able to find it. But what we were going to talk about on the front page of the Saturday Herald was a story about a teenage girl at a school having some online extortion played out in her life.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. And so we've both read Future Crimes. Well, actually, you've read it, and I've read most of it. I still haven't finished it.
Chris hasn't read the end, so he doesn't know about the special ending.
Right? Yeah, probably not. I've read 78% of it or something like that.
He doesn't know about the special ending. Don't tell him.
Don't say that. I don't know what you're talking
It's the
about.
special ending that's just at the end for people that finish the book.
Jesus.
Anyway. A girl from an undisclosed location in New Zealand actually befriended some weirdo on the internet while playing games.
Yep.
And that progressed over to Skype conversations. And like a lot of young people, and she, due to the person asking for it, which must have been some creepy male, sent some photos, slightly objectionable, I guess.
Naked photos and stuff.
Naked photos.
And she, stripped in front of the camera, that sort of stuff. Yep. But then he started saying, well, you got to do some more stuff or I will publish these and da-da-da-da-da. And after a while, she cottoned on that this isn't normal behaviour.
No, it's definitely not.
And so she told him no. And then he went nuts.
Postal. He actually went next level crazy for online people that do this. They don't see this very often.
Yeah, he hacked, I think, her Facebook and stuff. Knew who all the friends were.
Hacked their family's computer as well.
Hacked the family's computer. Found out who everybody was, what school she went to. Then he did a denial of service attack on the school. Shut down the school.
It sounds like their website's still down, by the way.
Yeah. And posted all the objectionable photos on her Facebook feed? Or
some Facebook feed. Dodgy websites and then posting the links.
Posted the links to all her friends and stuff. That's right.
And it's just going on and on. The police are stepping in with their cyber terrorism group, whatever they're called.
Yeah,
and
Stan, I think his name is.
Stan, yeah. And yeah, he's in the corner.
Yeah,
I
he's
bet-
got a closet
Yeah.
somewhere
I
that
bet he doesn't have 11,000
with an,
emails in
with,
his
an,
inbox.
with an Amiga, and he's working on it.
He's programming something as we speak. They are trying to reach out to Interpol as well to try and track this person down.
But the dial-up speed's so low, they just haven't got hold of Interpol yet.
yeah, they're hoping they can just like ring him on an 800 number or something.
Can we send him a telex? You don't even know what a telex is.
No, I
you?
do. I've just got a question though. In a minute, I'll ask you a question in a minute. You're old. You probably will answer this properly. Yeah, so not very good for her, but very good for her asking for help and reaching out. And
Yeah,
it sounds like
brave
there's a lot
girl.
of support around her, which is great.
And so she probably listens to the show, so we're behind you 100%.
Yeah,
So, you know.
yeah, awesome.
And Sam wasn't the guy.
No, that's not even funny.
No, that isn't funny because
so-
he's not that technical.
No,
Really, he's not.
so hopefully they catch the dude and sort it all out. Actually,
Hopefully they catch the dude in a different country and shoot him.
yeah, who knows?
Because, you know,
Who
that'd
knows?
be nice.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out if it's someone that actually knows her. That happens quite a bit. That happened with
I just got the impression that he wasn't in New Zealand.
no, but that's what happened with that chick who in America who was the beauty pageant, and it was the dude in her class was doing all the stuff.
Oh, yeah,
You know the one?
yeah.
Actually, talking about old technology and Chris in general, were you a big teletext user?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, because it got phased out.
I can't remember when it got phased out. I remember we
It was-
bought a TV with teletext, and my wife and I were like so impressed with ourselves.
It got phased out about 7 years ago, and the only reason I remember that is the guy I used to work with was still heavily using it 7 years ago.
Did he use it for TAB?
No, he used it for news and just
Yeah, yeah,
information.
yeah.
He was just like, oh, it's so much better. And he'd just be going through it. And he had the internet and everything. He was onto it with technology. He just loved teletext.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because when I had teletext, I don't think we had the internet. Not really, you know.
No.
I
I,
think
mean,
it
it
was-
was great. It was a great service for what
Yeah,
it was.
but it was so slow. After a
course it
while, it
was.
was so slow. And I mean, you know, you've got 3 pages of stuff. You don't control when it switched over from page 1 to page 2.
No.
And you're like, oh, I've gone on. It's page 3. I've got to wait to page 1 so this makes sense.
Yep, that's right.
Anyway.
What else are we going to talk about today, Chris?
Oh, that's a bit
that-
sad.
That was our list, and that went through pretty quick. And we've got that much to go.
What do you think we will do with our podcast, Sam?
Keep talking.
Yeah.
This one, or just in general?
Oh, in general, I think the Filmmakers Podcast, we're starting to get it together. We're going to build that one up. We haven't even promoted it yet, apart from on the show and a few tweets out and stuff like that. So we've got 2 episodes in the pipe. They're not far away from being done, touch wood. And we'll get those out, and then we'll get onto a bit of a more regular schedule with the NZ Filmmakers Podcast, and we'll focus on that for a bit more. This one just ticks along. Do you think we need to advertise this one and get it out there, Sam?
Yes. Sounds good.
Really? Because I was going to say, nah. Why would we do that?
I zoned out for a bit. Were you talking about this episode?
Sam, the Chris and Sam podcast, should we be advertising that and
No.
trying to build
Probably
a...
not. It just grows gradually.
Yeah. I
I'm
thought,
trying to find something interesting.
yeah, well, because you could listen to me because I'm interesting instead of
Yeah,
looking at your screen over there.
I listened to you a lot today.
Yes.
Listened to you a lot today.
Yeah, that is true. We were in this meeting and Sam's just zipped up quiet, and I'm like talking.
I didn't
and
want
talking.
to. Yeah, I didn't want to
talking.
interrupt, and I was paying attention.
Yeah, he had the grey shirt on with the pen in his pocket, and all he was missing was those pocket protectors.
No,
he really
no,
did look
no,
like that. No,
no.
seriously. Oh,
No.
look, he's reaching in to get the
No.
pen out of his
No,
pocket now.
It's because I had a notebook in my pocket in case I had to take notes, because I don't have a smartphone that can take notes. And the note function on the Nokia is like limited to 50 characters or something stupid. You can just write like one line. That's it.
Yeah, I had my notebook with me,
Yeah.
and my pen was in the notebook, and
Yeah.
it was on the table,
Yeah.
and I wasn't wearing a pocket protector.
No. Your book looked a bit weird on the table. It's just like, I was just like, what are you going to do? Quote some verses that you wrote? Or here's a poem? At least mine was in my pocket. You couldn't see it. It was good.
That's really lame comeback. Like, that isn't even a comeback. That's like so lame. The duck has no legs. That's lameless. That's legless. Lame. That's lame.
Okay, but I have no idea what you were just saying. 'Cause yeah, okay.
I love that sound of silence when I start laughing.
Yeah, that's good. Look at that. It's a nice little extra laugh I can add to the archives that I'm building. Actually,
Yeah.
I should really get on to building that website.
No, I think we're too busy. I think that can wait. I think we have a lot of. We got to record some jingles for drop kick and kick drop. No, what is it? Kickstart, drop kick.
And what's the other one? The other jingle you got to make that you like doing all the time?
I don't know.
Ends in time. Starts with
Rant time. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Rant time. See, we've done it. That's it. It's done.
Oh, okay. That was good then.
We don't need anything else. Yeah. So
Did you see in the news that prolific, not prolific, I guess, but in the world, wildlife hunting world of shooting wild animals, that top guy from America got killed by a baby elephant. It squashed him to death.
Oh, cool.
So that was good.
Score one for the animals.
Yeah,
Endangered
that
animals.
was pretty good.
Yeah, no, there was actually a few other cool things that I wanted to talk about, but I think we're running out of time now.
Are we? Should we wrap this one up? Actually, I think this one's going to play next week when we're both busy. I will be in Christchurch, and Chris will be pulling out what little of his hair he has left, because he'll be dealing with TEDx.
No, next week I won't be. Next week it will be over.
Yeah, that's true. You'll be at home cradling yourself in the corner, rocking backwards and forwards with a bottle of wine sticking in your mouth.
TEDx Ruakura will be on the 20th of June at the University of Waikato.
This podcast will come out on the 21st.
Right, so it'll be the next day. So, and it will have been, by the time you've hearing this, it will have been a fantastic event.
So your prediction...
A phenomenal success.
Yep. Okay, so that's your predictions.
Oh, no, actually, so I think we have two outstanding speakers. Those talks will be awesome, like seriously awesome. We've got 4 that will be good, like a good standard, I think.
Solid.
World-class
Solid
standard.
performance.
Maybe 1 or 2 will be subpar. I don't want to say that. Like, it's not really.
You don't know until the day.
You don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And but we've got a good crew there. We've gone through the briefing with the all the volunteers yesterday, and everything's pretty well coming up. The only thing that screwed up today is we were in Auckland and we wanted to pick up the set dressing.
Yeah,
and by the time we
song.
got to the storage place and the guy went to open it up, we were 6 minutes past their opening
it
hours
was
and you
stupid.
couldn't open
the automatic door couldn't open, and then the woman in the office couldn't grant access to the building.
And it's like, really? I thought these things were 24 hours. What's with this 5 o'clock close thing? So anyway, so we came home empty-handed, so I've got to call Quentin to sort that out. But yeah, TEDx Ruakura, looking forward to that. And
Okay, we need to know some predictions. First prediction is, how many people will you give Chris Eyes to on the day? Go. Just guessing.
Three.
Okay.
No, I was thinking of the ones I actually will be.
Okay, 3.
Well, there's 2 plus 1 I'm sure I'll find.
Okay, that's cool. What time will you get home from the after party Saturday night? Prediction. Because next
2:30.
2:30 in the morning?
Yep.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. And
Will I be alone? Yes. There was never any question on that, was it?
That's not a question. You're living the dream, I think, Chris.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was, who will... I don't know, you probably won't know how to answer that. Who will be the weirdest person you're going to meet? There's bound to be someone you're going to network with.
It'll be a student, and they will be studying
Something bizarre.
journalism. And have you met journalism students?
I don't think I
Some
have,
of
to
them
be
are-
honest.
I've met a few. They're quite interesting.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my prediction. I'll meet. I'll end up talking to some student that does journalism, and it's like a bit odd.
Spacey. Okay, we will
Yep.
see how these predictions play out.
Yeah.
After the Ruakura TEDx.
Yeah, and the next day I'll be doing heads of department meetings for Only Humane. We just auditioned our young fellas the other day, which was pretty cool. So we've got. I think we've made a choice. I don't think it's been gone official yet, so I can't say anything. But if anybody knows of a wreckers that wants to help out, a tow truck company that wants to help out, we've got a crash car roll it down the hill, all sorts of cool things for movies, and you can help out and you can lend us stuff and you won't get any money. It'll be great.
Get hold of Chris. Don't email him. This is the general story about this podcast. You will need to ring him.
You can get me on Facebook, and you can go through our Facebook or Twitter. I'm usually
What
pretty
is
good
our
with those.
Facebook and Twitter, Chris?
So our Facebook is facebook.com. Do you want the HTTP? But no, you don't. Facebook.com/The Chris and Sam Podcast. Or you can go to Twitter where it's at Chris and Sam Pod.
Excellent. And with that, it's pretty much almost the end of the show there, Chris.
Pretty much almost.
It is.
Okay, it is now.
That was me just wrapping it up in a succinct way.
And it's-
Actually, I'm still... I ate that massive burger, and then we got creamer chips. And
You have to see the photo on Facebook that I posted today, which was a week ago as this episode comes to air. And there's Sam with this load of food, and he thinks he's grinning, as if you've heard last episode, you would have heard him say, or the episode before, I forget now, he would have said that, he keeps getting photos taken, he thinks he's smiling and he's not. Well, he thought he was grinning for that photo, and I took a photo. I took a couple, actually, and they're both the same. Like, there was no noticeable better one. So I posted that one, and I said, this is Sam grinning ear to ear. Got a couple of likes and shares, I think, on that.
Yeah.
And then I showed him the photo, and the look on his face was absolute gold. He's like, oh, no. I'm like,
I'm beginning to
yeah,
think that
bro.
my face isn't sending the right signals to my brain.
Yeah, your nervous system
Yeah.
between your face and your brain.
I might need to get that looked at on Google or something.
You need a camera with a mirror under it.
Maybe I do.
All right, that's enough for today. But thanks for listening. We appreciate all our listeners. We're going to see if we can get some more giveaways at some point in the future. If you are somebody who can give us those giveaways, let us know on the aforementioned platforms.
Or if you want to be on the podcast, let us know. We'll hook you up.
Yeah, that
Sort
could
something out.
happen too. We can drive the beam around and we can sit in a car park and you can talk to us.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all. With that, I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
See ya.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to subscribe and we'll catch you next week. Don't forget to tell your friend.